5 ways to handle people who don't respect you. Stoic happiness. Let's be honest, some people thrive on pushing boundaries. They interrupt you, make sly remarks, and act as if your time and feelings don't matter. And society often expects you to just brush it off, keep the peace, and move on. Not today. If you're tired of tolerating disrespect, this is for you. Today, I'm revealing 5 unshakable, no-nonsense ways to command respect without losing your cool or compromising your integrity. These aren't feel-good, sugar-coated tips. They are battle-tested principles straight from Stoic wisdom, practical, powerful, and effective. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to set firm boundaries, maintain your dignity, and ensure people understand where the line is drawn. Let's get into it. 1. Embrace the silent stare. All right, let's start with one of my all-time favorite slightly savage techniques, the silent stare. Now, you might be thinking, really? Just staring? Yes, trust me on this. Imagine facing disrespect, the kind that seeks to unsettle your composure and draw you into a pointless conflict. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, consider the power of the silent stare. It's a technique that subverts expectations, a quiet assertion of your self-respect. When someone aims to provoke you, their goal is to elicit a reaction, to disrupt your peace. By simply holding their gaze, without a word or change in expression, you disrupt their agenda. You reclaim control by refusing to play their game, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic life lessons. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This isn't about passive aggression. It's about demonstrating that you refuse to be manipulated. Picture this: a meeting where someone continually interrupts you, dismissing your contributions. You attempt polite interjections, but they persist. Instead of escalating, you meet their rudeness with a calm, unwavering stare. The tension in the room shifts as others notice the power dynamic change. The interrupter, expecting a verbal response, falters, becoming visibly uncomfortable. This silent assertion of your boundaries speaks volumes, far more than any heated exchange. This is a practical application of Stoic happiness, finding peace in your own controlled reaction. It's a reminder that you don't need to engage in every battle, that your dignity is not up for negotiation. This technique is not merely a power play, it's a profound act of self-preservation. By choosing your response, or lack thereof, you cultivate inner strength and resilience. This silent stare is a testament to your self-worth, a non-verbal declaration that you will not be diminished by another's disrespect. You show them, and more importantly yourself, that you are in control of your emotions and your reactions. Therefore, practice this, and remember that real strength often lies in the stillness of your response. 2. Embrace silence as your answer. Here's a little secret weapon that's incredibly underrated: silence. When someone disrespects you, one of the most powerful responses is no response at all. It's an underrated response, often mistaken for weakness or passivity, but in reality, silence is an intentional and profound choice. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we have complete control over our reactions. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Silence is the embodiment of this wisdom. When someone disrespects you, they often expect a reaction, a defense, or a fight. But when you choose silence, you are asserting control over your own energy and thoughts. You show them that you won't be dragged into their drama or negativity. Instead of responding to their disrespect, You let their words hang in the air, forcing them to face their own behavior and the emptiness of their words. In that moment, silence becomes a powerful response, a response that speaks louder than words ever could. It's easy to feel as though you need to fight back, defend yourself, or even explain your actions when someone disrespects you. But remember, silence isn't passive, it's a bold choice. People who disrespect others often crave a reaction. They want to see you react defensively or get upset. However, when you don't engage, you take the wind out of their sails. You're not allowing their disrespect to dictate your emotions or your actions. You are in control. This doesn't mean you're letting them win. On the contrary, you are showing them that their words hold no power over you. In a world where everyone is quick to react and defend their egos, silence in the face of disrespect is a statement of strength. In modern life, this idea holds even more significance. With social media and constant communication, people often feel emboldened to express negative opinions or attacks. But taking a moment to remain silent instead of engaging in arguments or proving a point can protect your peace and preserve your energy. Silence allows you to detach from the drama and focus on what truly matters: your happiness, your well-being, and your sense of self-worth. In today's world, where respect can be in short supply, embracing silence as a response is not just a tactic, but a form of self-care. I'll never forget a personal experience with someone who constantly tried to undermine me with passive-aggressive comments disguised as jokes. One day, this individual took a jab at my work, attempting to belittle me in front of others. Normally, I would have felt the need to defend myself, maybe even retaliate. But this time, I decided to stay silent. I simply raised an eyebrow, said nothing, and let his words hang in the air. The silence was thick and awkward, and it forced him to confront the emptiness of his own words. In that moment, he quickly realized that I wasn't someone who would engage in such childish games. From that day forward, the disrespect stopped. Silence had won. So remember that when you face disrespect, you don't always need to react. Silence is a powerful tool in maintaining your peace and dignity. As you continue to learn and grow in Stoicism today, keep in mind that you don't need to fight every battle. Sometimes, the most powerful response is simply not to engage. What do you think about using silence to handle disrespect? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. 3. Stop explaining your choices. All right, this one's going to hit home for a lot of us. Stop explaining your choices. Seriously, let that sink in for a moment. It's time to break free from the chains of unnecessary justification. How many times have you made a decision only for someone to bombard you with questions? Why did you do that? Why didn't you attend that event? Why did you choose that job? Too often, people act as if they are entitled to an explanation for every choice you make. The truth is, they're not. Your choices are yours to make, and you don't owe anyone an explanation about how you live your life. The Stoic mindset teaches us that the opinions of others should not sway our decisions or disrupt our path. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Your choices reflect your inner wisdom, your clarity, and your unique journey. No one else can walk it for you, and no one else should have the power to dictate it. When people question you, it often stems from their discomfort with your independence. Your choices may challenge their worldview or threaten the safety of the norms they cling to. They want to pull you back into their comfort zone, where their sense of control remains intact. But here's the deal. The moment you start explaining yourself, you give away your power. You let others dictate your value. You let their fears govern your freedom. As a man, you must stand firm in your decisions and live by the principles that shape your life. You are the prize. A king never begs a queen to stay, and a wise man never pleads for validation. When you live according to your values, you inspire respect, not through explanations, but through action. Silence becomes your strength. Embrace the Stoic wisdom that calls for independence, clarity, and focus. So when someone asks you, why, remember, you don't owe them an answer. Comment below, pain is temporary, power is forever. Live your truth. You've already won. 4. Keep your distance. In life, it's essential to remember that not everyone is worthy of a prominent place in your inner circle, especially those who consistently disrespect you. One of the most powerful ways to preserve your mental and emotional well-being is by keeping your distance from such individuals. Stoic happiness comes from the understanding that not every person is entitled to your time or energy. By setting boundaries and protecting your peace, you are not being mean, but rather you are actively choosing how you allocate your most precious resources, your time, energy, and mental clarity. Maintaining distance is not an act of avoidance. It is an intentional decision to preserve your serenity and avoid unnecessary conflict. In this way, you align with the Stoic life lesson that we are not disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. In practical terms, think of your life as an exclusive club where only those who truly respect and uplift you deserve a VIP pass. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, that person does not belong in your club, and it's up to you to decide who gets access to your inner circle. This process requires strength, as it's often difficult to let go of relationships or connections that we've grown accustomed to. However, by distancing yourself from those who undermine your peace, you are reaffirming your commitment to a life of emotional resilience, wisdom, and clarity. Realize that your life is too precious to spend in the company of those who don't honor you. Take this advice to heart and protect your space so that you can continue cultivating a life of Stoic happiness, grounded in respect and peace. Share your thoughts with us in the comments. How do you handle people who don't respect you? 5. Hold your head high. Imagine this. You're facing someone who's decided to chip away at your dignity, aiming to shrink your presence. They expect you to fold, to diminish. However, you choose a different path, one that echoes the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. You stand tall, your posture a silent declaration of self-respect. This isn't about arrogance, it's about an unwavering inner certainty. By holding your head high, you project an aura of self-assuredness that disarms those who thrive on disrespect. They find your confidence unsettling, a stark contrast to the vulnerability they hoped to exploit. This is where understanding what is Stoicism becomes crucial. It's about cultivating an inner fortress, a resilience that remains unshaken by external forces. Remember, life is too precious to waste on those who disregard your value. Many will test your limits, challenge your decisions, and attempt to diminish your spirit. This is simply the reality of navigating human interactions. Yet, you possess the power to dictate the energy you absorb and the standards you uphold. Embrace this power, and you'll find yourself attracting individuals who recognize and value your worth. People who elevate rather than degrade. This is Stoicism today, applying ancient wisdom to modern challenges. It's not about being emotionless, but about mastering your emotions and responses. As Seneca advised, Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. So let these encounters be opportunities to fortify your inner strength. In today's world, where distractions and negativity abound, maintaining your inner peace is a powerful act of defiance. By prioritizing your self-respect, you not only protect yourself, but also set an example for others. Let your actions speak louder than words, demonstrating that true strength lies in unwavering self-worth. Now, I encourage you to share your own experiences in the comments. How do you maintain your self-respect in the face of disrespect? Final thoughts. Life's too short to spend it bending over backwards for people who don't see your value. You don't need anyone's permission to stand tall, protect your peace, and live life on your terms. Respect starts with you. Now go own your power. Final thoughts. Life's too short to spend it bending over backwards for people who can't see your value. People will try to bring you down, test your boundaries, and question your choices. That's just the world we live in. But you get to decide what energy you let in and what standards you set for how you're treated. The best part: the more you focus on your own self-respect, the more you'll attract people who see your worth, people who uplift you instead of dragging you down. It all starts with you, owning your power and letting the rest fall into place. Let me offer you this. If she chooses another man, let her go. This is not a loss for you. Rather, it's an opportunity for growth, strength, and wisdom. If you're wondering why this is the path to Stoic happiness, here's the truth. Sometimes, letting go of someone who doesn't value you is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you choose to let go, you're not just freeing her, you're freeing yourself to rise above the situation, to reclaim your peace, and to honor your own worth. Now, let me guide you through the practical steps that will help you embrace this mindset and embody Stoic life lessons in the face of disrespect. First, embrace the silent stare. In a world that often expects us to explain ourselves or react immediately, silence can be your greatest ally. Instead of lashing out or getting upset, stand your ground. The silent stare communicates power, respect for yourself, and a refusal to engage with negativity. Sometimes saying nothing at all is the most potent response. In the words of Epictetus, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By remaining silent, you assert your control over your emotions and reactions, reinforcing the idea that your happiness is not dependent on another's actions. Next, use silence as your answer. This doesn't mean you are weak or passive. Rather, it's a strategic use of self-control and self-respect. In fact, not responding to negativity is a form of asserting your power. Silence tells them that their opinion doesn't matter to you. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your choices, especially if they are disrespecting you. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely noted, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. By choosing not to waste your time explaining yourself to those who don't understand, you prioritize your own peace and well-being. The third lesson: stop explaining your choices. Whether it's in love, business, or life, you don't have to justify your decisions to anyone who doesn't have the respect to understand them. If you are constantly in a position where you feel the need to explain why you do what you do, it's a sign that you're allowing others to dictate the terms of your life. Instead, adopt the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control. You have the right to live your life the way you choose without seeking validation. Just remember, What is external to us does not control us unless we let it, as Epictetus taught us. So, don't allow external judgments to disturb your inner peace. Keep your distance. Not everyone deserves access to your time, energy, and mental space. Some people will only bring negativity into your life, and as hard as it may seem, distancing yourself from these individuals is often the best thing you can do. The Stoics remind us to cultivate an inner circle of respect, support, and positivity. By keeping your distance from those who disrespect you, you preserve your energy for those who genuinely appreciate you. It's a choice that leads to peace, growth, and stoic happiness. Finally, hold your head high. Confidence is a silent statement that no one can take from you. When you walk through life with your head held high, you remind both yourself and others of your self-worth. You do not need external validation to confirm your value. It is inherent in who you are. Remember, as the great philosopher Socrates said, "I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world." This means you define your value, regardless of others' opinions. Stand firm, walk with confidence, and embrace the strength that comes from knowing your worth. When you implement these strategies, silence, boundaries, and self-respect, you will notice a transformation. The people who once disrespected you will begin to back off, and you will feel more in control, stronger, and more at peace. You may even find that the relationships you allow into your life become more meaningful and supportive. As you navigate life's challenges, remember that respect begins with you. The more you respect yourself, the less room there is for disrespect to affect you. I challenge you. Next time someone disrespects you, do not react in the way you normally would. If your instinct is to argue, try silence instead. If you usually explain your actions, simply state, "Because I wanted to," and leave it at that. If someone pushes your boundaries, start keeping your distance. Observe how it makes you feel and how the dynamic shifts. This is your path to stoic happiness, and I invite you to share your experiences in the comments. How do you handle disrespect? What boundaries have you set to protect your peace? Let's continue this conversation and learn from each other's experiences. Remember, you are enough just as you are. Own your worth, respect yourself, and let go of anything that doesn't align with your peace and happiness. Thank you for watching. I hope these 5 ways to handle people who don't respect you have given you some valuable tools to apply in your life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe for more content on stoic happiness and personal growth. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to discuss anything about today's topic or give feedback, feel free to drop a comment below. Your opinion matters and will help us all grow stronger together. Remember, no one can dictate your happiness but you. Stay focused, stay calm, and embrace the wisdom of Stoicism. See you in the next video.